Anyways, you're talking about Gunner Stockton a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the bag droppers, as it turns out, on Instagram and Twitter. That's our new name, I guess.
Kirby dropped a quick bag.
Yep,
Come on,
Gunner
man.
Stockton to them dogs.
This one surprised me, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've known who Gunner Stockton is for a while, and he was committed to South Carolina literally like 2.5 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden he decommits, and then 2 weeks later it's between Georgia and Auburn. And fun fact, Auburn was supposed to get him until like
Auburn
this
was the
morning.
Huge favorite. Yeah,
until this morning.
Favorite.
And then out of nowhere this morning, it was like, oh, wait a second, Gunner's going to Georgia, and then all of a sudden he just commits. Dude, incredible. Incredible, dude.
This is what I want to say.
Incredible. Todd Monken.
Todd Monken, like you said, he's a wizard. I don't know what he'd be telling these quarterbacks.
I don't know what he'd be telling these quarterbacks. I don't know.
He's like, bro, look what he's like. Look how good I made Stetson Bennett look, and then he actually started playing trash. And then he's like, bro, I threw JT Daniels in there, and we started cooking. He's like, this could be you.
It's gonna be, and it's crazy. It's crazy to me is that I don't feel like Kirby. All Kirby needed the whole time was an offensive coordinator who can communicate with quarterbacks. That's what's been keeping us from getting these quarterbacks. Now we get a guy like Todd Monken in here, and now we get all these 5-stars wanting to come to Georgia. James Coley,
he was a quarterbacks coach. It's just, I don't know what he was doing, man. I don't know
His
what
play
he was doing.
was atrocious.
I don't know what he was doing.
It was so bad.
But this is another thing I want to say. Is Gunner Stockton technically ranked higher than Brock Vandagriff?
I think he will be when the by the time his end of his senior year comes, he will be. Because right now I think he's a
junior, right?
Yes. So
and then because he's 2022 class.
Yep. Which is crazy because I'm like,
so,
I feel like we have another Fields and Fromm situation, and some people said it's not.
This is
but
what
I'm
people were saying. People were saying that JT is gonna play next season, obviously.
That's obvious.
And then Brock's gonna come in and play. And then they say Gunner Stockton will start. All I'm saying is They say Gunner Stockton's going to start his sophomore year. Which I'm just sitting here like,
that's
if
impossible,
he stays.
So I just off the rip.
He could redshirt.
Come on, bro. You thinking these 5-star quarterbacks want to do that?
That's the thing. Yeah. That's another that's why I said if he even stays.
See, it's like with some teams you can get players to do that, but teams like Georgia, ain't nobody doing that. These guys look. These guys just got done battling in high school, man, and now they're bringing the battle to college.
Who you gonna put? Who would you start? Be honest with me. Let's say.
I was thinking about this earlier.
Let's say Brock Vandagriff. He plays like an average starting quarterback, right? Through his first year. It's his first year. He got them freshman little heebie-jeebies, whatever you want to say. Okay. Gunner comes in. What do you do? Do you let them battle out in training camp and spring practice?
I mean, truth be told, we're not really going to see Brock next season unless JT gets hurt or where it's a blowout, which I'm assuming there should be a lot more blowouts than there were.
Because Brock's coming in next season.
Yeah, Brock is on campus as of right now. That's why I was confused by that question. I was like,
he won't have any started games when Gunner Stockton comes in.
They're going to have to battle in training camp, true freshman versus true sophomore.
Who would you take?
I was thinking about this earlier.
I was thinking about it. I feel like I have an answer.
I have an answer too. I have an answer too.
Gunner Stockton.
It's Gunner Stockton.
It's Gunner Stockton. He looks too good, bro.
He looks too good. I was watching his tape today, and it's crazy. He has a background in baseball. Don't get me wrong. Now, and I was, oh my god. Don't get me wrong. I love Brock. And I can't wait to see what Brock does. And it's honestly a little too early to kind of compare these two, but at the same time, it's really not. Dude, Gunner reminds me of he kind of looks like a Bo Nix build with better accuracy. But obviously he could play better. But he's only 6'1". It doesn't look like he's going to grow anymore. He has a baseball background. So come on, man. He's just athletic. He's built. Look kind of like a runoff of Sam Howell. His ability, his accuracy on the run. I was looking at his highlights. It's incredible. Like he has like a Heisman quarterback. He has like a Heisman quarterback prototype. But I think
if you give Gunner Stockton Brock Vandagriff, because Brock Vandagriff, he's built, isn't he? He's big.
Yeah, he's big. He's like
sure.
6'3".
So yeah, if you give Gunner Stockton, Brock Vandagriff's build, we could be talking about a GOAT right here. I'm just kidding.
I think, like, to be honest with me, I think the future for Georgia's bright. If Georgia doesn't win a national championship in the next 3 seasons, something's up.
Let's
you know what I'm saying?
That.
We got quarterbacks out
If Georgia handles this quarterback situation right, our future is bright.
That and Kirby, and the good
we
thing for
always
Kirby,
have the pieces.
And good thing for Kirby. Listen, if there's a blowout, if it's a blowout, put JT on the bench, put Brock in, and let him throw the ball.
I think this is what Kirby struggled with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I told you about what it was like a week or two. No, it was a little bit larger than that. It was before we started working out. It was a long time ago. I had Georgia games playing in the background, remember, on my TV. Yeah. And one time I woke up and it was the LSU game from when we got blown out the year before. That was like when we were number 1. And halftime comes. I think it was like the first drive. We put in Justin Fields. And I'm like, to be honest, we should have kept him in. Just let him ride with the offense.
That's everybody's thing.
But they took him in and they ran like a wildcat type thing. And I'm like, we just handled this whole thing. Like, I never realized it was handled so bad until I watched
to be honest, I knew
game.
it.
Then I was like,
to be honest, I knew it was. I'm like, you can't get a top quarterback prospect of all time and expect him to not.
Because I didn't even watch the LSU game.
And expect him to barely get any reps and stay on the team. And then I saw somewhere today that they said Justin Fields didn't want to leave Georgia. His dad wanted him to leave. That's cap. Because I would have been out. I'm like, so you telling me I'm going to be one of the highest rated quarterback you've ever recruited? And you gonna put me on the field just to run Wildcats? What, would I look like RG3 to you?
Run a fake punt?
Do I look like RG3 to you?
Run a fake punt?
Ravens RG3? Come on, man. You better stop. That fake punt was the worst play I've ever. Man, don't even remind me of that.
Horrible. You might as well just went for it.
Just so stupid, bro. They should let him throw it. To be honest, it should have been set up as a throw or something. I don't know, but Kirby, man. But I feel like with Todd Monken, I feel like I want to say I feel like Todd Monken will make the right choice because, obviously he's handled the QB situation great. I mean, I feel like I said, I feel like I'm gonna be. That's what I was gonna get to. Like I said, I feel like he wasn't given his his potential. Like he wasn't given the reins to the quarterback situation. Yeah. Until
Stetson started being trashed. Then Kirby was like, "What should we do?" I feel like it was all Kirby's decision to start Stetson. You know how Kirby be.
Yeah,
bro.
it had. You know how Kirby be. But like I said, I will never forgive whoever was responsible. I'll never forgive them for having Stetson Bennett start against Florida. I just don't care. JT was healed. He was ready. He won that game. There's just no way. The
Florida game was after Bama, wasn't it?
It was like 2-3 weeks after Bama.
He should have been benched. Like we should have benched Stetson midway through the third quarter of Bama.
He should have been benched after he put up 14 points against Kentucky.
Oh my goodness!
Let that sink in.
Anyway,
let that sink in. The best offense Florida's had all decade. All right, let me say all decade. The best offense Florida has had in like 6 or 7 years. And you put in a quarterback who could put in a quarterback who could only score 14 points against Kentucky.
You put in a quarterback that can't see over his offensive line. Bruh. Hey,
Kirby
not gonna cap though. Hey, he looked like Lamar Jackson on that run, bruh.
Kirby smart, man.
Stetson Bennett.
I wanted to say this real quick before we moved on. This Gunner Stockton committing to Georgia kind of puts you like, what's the status of Auburn? Because honestly, this commitment made no sense to me. Much as I'm excited, this commitment makes absolutely no sense.
I'm gonna be honest. Look, I was. People are like, they dropped a bag. And I'm like, bro, the way this is looking, I could see how people, I'll give them a legitimate, I'll give them a pass. I'll give them a free pass for saying we dropped a bag on this. Because this one was sus. Mm-hmm. We were nowhere in the running for it. Nowhere near.
He was choosing between us or Auburn, but it was clearly that he was favored for Auburn.
Everyone had him going to Auburn, and then I wake up and all of a sudden 3 crystal balls are to him, and he's already committed. I was like, what?
It just really didn't make any sense to me because I'm like, you commit to Auburn, you start true freshman, no doubt. You commit to Georgia, you got to battle. I mean, that shows a lot about his character, and it's like, let's make sure he actually signs.
That's what we thought about Justin Fields.
Let's make sure he actually signs.
Go there and compete.
he lost the battle, but obviously we learn now that, you know, Kirby Smart goofed. I think Kirby Smart's got to learn how to handle this quarterback situation. I would love to see Gunner, you know, finish his career here. I want to see Gunner get a fair chance at Georgia, you know, before any of these guys, honestly, look, you know, move on.
After JT, look, I'm gonna be honest. My views, you know, I had my pack smoked that one episode. It was
that one video was bad. It was bad.
After JT Daniel, I'm gonna be honest. I want to see Gunner Stockton as a starting quarterback.
Gunner Stockton does have a way better skill set. But I don't know, man. I want to see what Brock's gonna bring to this table. Honestly, look, Brock's got that deep ball accuracy too, so it's like
we will make. We're gonna have to note this, but I mean, obviously, it'll most likely happen. But end of spring practice for Georgia, G Day as we call it, in the University of Georgia. We will know. We will know after the spring, because I remember me and you were talking about it. Jake Fromm's freshman year, they went to G Day, and me and you were like, bro, that Jake Fromm kid, he looked great. He was throwing good balls. He came in against Appalachian State, and we weren't even worried about it. We're like, he's pretty good. We're like, yeah, hopefully Jacob Eason's back for Notre Dame. But we're like, he's pretty good. He can handle this, Appalachian State. And then it's like, well, I forget what happened. I think, did Jacob Eason tear his meniscus? Something like that?
Yeah, he was out.
I don't know. Because he was
I know, really, for me,
against Tennessee.
The Jake Fromm game for me was partially Notre Dame, but really for me, where I was sold on Jake Fromm was when we played Mississippi State, because I'm telling you, that was the first year Georgia was really on the map. And I was like, man, this Georgia team, come on, man. I don't expect much from them. Bro, we smacked that Mississippi State team so bad. That was Dan Mullen.
That Mississippi State team, that's when I was my favorite game Georgia's ever played. Like, I will rewatch that game every day.
That's when I was like, okay, we might be good. We might be good at football.
We might got something.
We might have a little something running here.